So in today's video, we're going to take a look at the best stack for 2019. No, actually, we're going to do like getting started, like walking through how to get started with programming, like from scratch, like from zero. You're out there, you heard the code hype, you're like, I want to make some money, I want to make some moves, I want to change my life, I want to get a remote job, whatever it is, whatever your motivation is for joining code. Hey, guess what? I was you a few years ago before I went to boot camp. Despite what you may think, I had zero programming knowledge. I learned to code at 24 and now I'm 28. I was right where you were not too long ago, and I remember what it's like, and I still struggle. So don't even worry about that. And there is, like, I know I always say that you need to be like language agnostic. Don't depend on the tech stack. It's your ability to learn quickly, not what you know off the top. Like I say that a lot, but I also realize at the same time, yeah, you need to start somewhere with something. First thing I'm gonna ask you guys to ask yourself is, what kind of person are you? Are you a visual person? Are you kind of more of a back-end person? Are you like, when I say back-end, if you know what that means, it means like more logistical person. You like statistics, you like processes, you like looking at numbers. Or are you on the other side? You like design, you like art, you like kind of like user flow and that sort of thing. Maybe you like DevOps, maybe you like working on the back end, maybe you like sitting in a terminal all day. If you don't know what a terminal is, it's like that black matrix box where you're just like, that's back in development. Some people love it, some people don't. So after you've figured out what type of person you are, you need to get started somewhere, right? And this is where everyone's like, well, I'm not sure what to do. I'm still on HTML5 and CSS3. And if you don't know what those are like the two core technologies of the web. So HTML is kind of like the skeleton, kind of just sets everything up, kind of the layout. And then you have CSS, which makes it pretty. It styles it, and think about like putting some accessories on that, put a nice little cute little black dress on, going out for a date, The reason that web development starts you off there is because you have instant user feedback. So if you make some HTML and the little VS Code and then you put some CSS on it, you can instantly see the changes. Like in real time, you can see it on the page, and you're like, oh, well, this is cool. Kind of, I made something, I programmed something. All right, this isn't so bad. But then you hit JavaScript, and you're like, all right, I have no idea. Why am I doing this? I don't know why I need functions to do this. And so these are like the three core technologies that pretty much everyone starts off with, unless you go to a boot camp, maybe Ruby for web development, which I've seen a few boot camps. But I'd say the majority of places kind of start you off with HTML5, CSS3, and JavaScript. If you right-click any page and you click inspect and you open it, you'll see HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in there because that is what your internet browser runs on pretty much. Let me show you some resources that I've found to get started. So I want this to be tangible, like a takeaway, like here, go here, do these things, or if you want to do this, go here and do these things. Oh, everyone always talks about Free Code Camp. Just go to freecodecamp.com. It'll get you started. There's a whole bunch of free curriculum here. No, I'm not sponsored by Free Code Camp or anything like that, but just go there. Just go get your feet wet. Don't spend any money on Udemy. Don't spend any money if you don't have to. Just see if this is for you first. Go to the curriculum. It'll start you off with basic HTML and CSS. And so if you make changes here, it makes changes in real time over here on the right. And you're like, oh, wow, I'm programming. And so this kind of gets people into it. But you don't want to do HTML5, CSS3, JavaScript here? Hey, that's cool. You can go to this other place called the Odin Project, which is pretty popular. And you can view the curriculums, just theodinproject.com. Web Development 101, you can see here you got how this course will work, introduction to web development, and installation, text editors, you got all this stuff here. And this is more Ruby based, and you're going to end up doing Ruby on Rails. And I'm not a huge fan of Ruby on Rails, but some people are. And so if you wanted to do web development this way, you can come here to the Odin Project and work your way through this. And at the very end, there's this big project that you can do, and there's all these other user submitted projects that you can take a look at if you want to reverse engineer if you run out of project ideas. If you want to learn PHP, which I like PHP, but oh, LOL PHP, Josh? Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and hate me, but you can go to this website. It's called Laracasts, and Laracast is basically for Laravel. So you can see here it's got PHP, testing, JavaScript tooling, and Laravel. Laravel is how you take PHP and turn that into basically web stuff so that you can make views, and so you can make this page that you're looking at, and then if you want to do web development with Python, you could do Flask. But I don't really know any good websites off the top of my head to learn Python for web development. If you want to learn Python, a good place that I like that's pretty interactive is called automateTheBoringStuff.com. And this teaches you how to do simple things like fill out online forms, all automated. You feel like a real hacker when you're sitting there and you follow these courses and you're like, oh snap, and I just press enter and it does it all by itself. And that's a pretty cool feeling. Work through this here, it's all free, but you're not really doing a whole lot of web development stuff here. But you can still do some pretty neat stuff with Python and get your feet wet and then take this and go to do machine learning or something like that. Okay, so now that you got your feet wet with some web development technologies, with these websites here, the next question you're going to want to ask yourself is like a longer term game, longer term plan. Where are you going to live? Where are you going to work? What kind of work are you going to do? Are you going to be a freelancer? Are you going to work remote? Are you going to work local? Do you want to relocate to another country? And the reason that I'm saying that you need to think about these things are because different areas have different tech stacks. And so once you have the basics down, you can kind of just learn any tech stack, but you need to look at where you're going to work. And so, for example, in Jacksonville, Florida, for whatever reason, they just love C#, and C# is used for ASP.NET. I don't know why that's popular there, but in other places of the United States, people just really love Angular. And Angular is kind of like Laravel or Ruby on Rails. And then in other places of the United States, they really love the buzzword React, and they all do React. Wherever you want to live or wherever you're at in the United States, look at what they're doing on job websites around you. Like, look at what they're asking for. So for example, I live in Salt Lake City. We'll take a look at Salt Lake City on this website called Glassdoor.com. Glassdoor.com lets you look up common job interview questions. Like, people go here and they're like, I was asked this, and so you can prepare for jobs this way too. And you can look at the salaries on the company so that you have an idea of what to ask for when they're like, well, what were you thinking in terms of compensation? Well, I already looked at what other people are getting paid, so I kind of guess. I know what you want me to say to you. So I'm a visual person. I'm going to look up front-end web developer here. Extensive knowledge of modern JavaScript fundamentals. Yeah, so we got that out of the way. Extensive experience with a modern JS framework. React, Angular. Yeah, I can disregard Ember. Shots fired, I know. So experience with Angular, familiarity with Python. JavaScript and Python are actually really popular in Salt Lake City. So Angular, React, and Python are pretty much the go-to where I live. But where you live, it might be C# and ASP.NET. Once you have an idea of what people are looking for around you, you can know what step to take after you do one of these like bare bones beginning tutorials, and you're not like totally lost. Like, you have a direction. Pick one of these frameworks with jobs around you, and then go find projects or find websites that you can go learn that at. So we'll take this volumetric here, we're gonna put it here, and we're gonna change it to companies, and we're gonna click search. And I'm just gonna show you real quick how you can look at interview questions. So there's an interview button, and you can come over here, technical sales representative. The interview process was extremely rewarding, blah, blah, blah. And you can see what other people have been asked. And that way, when you go into the interview, you kind of know what other people have been asked, and so you can kind of prepare yourself there. So there's a little pro tip. And then for salary, when they ask your budget, you just click on salary, and you try to find a job title that kind of matches what you applied for. And then it gives you an average. I would take these averages and I would up them by like 10-15%. When I worked a job and I looked at the salary, I was like, this is way more than I'm getting paid. What's going on? You used Glassdoor, you figured out what you want, what you're gonna do. But let's say you don't want to work local, and you want to work at home, you want to work remote, you want to work on a beach in Thailand, making those medium dollars in America but amazing dollars in Thailand. So I'll show you a website. It's called WeWorkRemotely.com. Programming jobs. The real winner here is the guy who made this. These companies pay $300 to post on here for 30 days. Like, there's design jobs, there's programming jobs, there's front-end jobs, there's back-end jobs, there's business jobs, there's like random, Arabic speaking SEO and content manager job. There's a whole bunch of jobs on here. I've had a bunch of interviews. I never successfully had a job from here for one of my remote jobs, but this is a good place, and I made it to the final stages here. But this is a good website, lots of cool jobs. Just know that this website's really popular, and there's like hundreds and hundreds of applications here. But there's another website we can go to. It's called remoteok.io. Also a pretty good website here. You just scroll down, you have the different sections: remote, software, customer support, marketing, design, non-tech, top remote companies. There's going to be a lot of crossover between WeWorkRemotely.com and remoteok.io. So you can come here and you can look for remote jobs. Pro tip here: if you want to work remote, you got to be different in your application process. Do not just click apply. You got to go find their email somehow. They probably don't have a phone number since there's no office, but you got to go find like their email. Or what I would do if I were to level up in 2019 and I wanted to apply remote, I would send a really awkward video application. Yes, it's going to be awkward, but how many people are going to do that? Probably just you. And it's going to be like, hi, I know you wanted a paper application, but here I am, and I wanted to stand out from the crowd here and just be a little bit different. So you send them a resume, and maybe the resume just has a link that says my video application specifically designed for XYZ company because I value XYZ company's values, which are XYZ. You got to stand out. Working remote is all based on trust. They got to know that you're going to be doing work when no one's standing over your shoulder making you do work. And they know that most jobs are like that. And so if you don't want that, you got to be different. You got to stand out. You got to up that value. You got to up, it's all about culture fit with remote. They got to feel you out since they can't sit in front of you and get your vibe. So you gotta level up that application process, in my opinion. You don't want to work local. You want to move across the pond. You want to go to the UK or wherever. So you're probably gonna need a visa unless you got that dual citizenship, which I probably don't. I don't got that. you head on over to stackoverflow.com/jobs. You got perks and you got Visa sponsor. And then you could just click apply filters. And these are all over the world. You might need a degree, but you might not need a degree. It just depends. So if you want to apply in Germany, Germany has to be like, yeah, we couldn't find a German that could do this job, so we're doing a visa. You can just scroll through this. You got tons of stuff in here that's looking to provide visa sponsor. Just realize that companies that provide visa sponsors are usually big companies, because it takes a lot of money to get a visa sponsor, and it takes a lot of paperwork to be like, yeah, we tried, and blah, 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 blah. Just realize a lot of these visa sponsors, you're going to be employee number XYZ. Let's just say you don't want to move across the country, you don't need a visa, you just don't, you live in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, and you want to move to the middle of nowhere, Missouri. I don't know why you would do that. The most exciting thing there is tornadoes. Besides the point, if you wanted to see that, you come over here and you just put offers relocation. So same thing, just uncheck visa, check offers relocation. So paid relocation, you guys want to move to Salt Lake City, machine learning engineers, they'll pay you to move here and they'll give you a little slice of the company. That's called equity. Be careful with equity though. They'll try and nickel and dime your salary down so that, well, take 2% of the company. That's a lot. That's like insane, but like just realize that. If you take paid relocation, just realize that if you quit that job, you're probably going to owe them. There's probably some, you have to work here for 2 years since we gave you 30 grand and moved everything that you own across the country or across the state or whatever it is. Just there's probably a prorated payment plan if you get there and you're like, this job is terrible. Crap. And so again, it's the same process. You would go in and you'd look at what these people are looking for. So remote's kind of all over the place. I've noticed a lot of remote jobs are like Ruby on Rails. Generally, nobody wants to do that really, so they end up paying more and offering more perks like remote and stuff for the technologies that are older and people don't really want to do. Pro tip here, if something is the new hotness like React, everyone's learning React. So just think about that for a second. If everyone's learning React and you apply to all the React jobs that everyone else are applying for, it's going to be really saturated. So look the way everyone is going and then go the opposite way, otherwise get in line. So my pro tip, everyone, like React is the new hotness. You guys are all learning React because everyone says to learn React. So they're like, oh, better do that. What I would do, I'd go the opposite way. I'd probably do Laravel and apply to the PHP jobs. And then when I get that first stamp on my resume, I would go hit up the JavaScript jobs. You already got paid. Someone has validated you and your skill set by giving you a paycheck to type some lines of code. That'd be my pro tip there. If you wanted, you could do mobile dev. See, mobile dev is not my thing. I don't ever talk about mobile dev because I don't know anything about it. I know Xamarin, which is a way you can write some C# and then the C# will turn into a mobile app. Or you could learn Java, or you could learn Kotlin, or you could learn Swift, or you could learn Objective-C, but I don't know anything about that really. What my pro tip would be progressive web apps, and there's probably people out there, but Josh, wait, you forgot about Flutter. Okay, I don't know anything about that either, so I'm not gonna make any statements about Flutter. Just look up PWA, progressive web apps, and there's gonna be this thing called React Native, which is where you do JavaScript and the JavaScript turns into a mobile app somehow. I don't know, it's wizardry. Mobile's not really my thing. I'm just trying to cover it so people in the comments are like, hey Josh, look, I'm trying, man. And then you got machine learning, which is probably gonna be Python, and then you're gonna have data science, which will probably be like Scala or Haskell. And then obviously you got Udemy for game dev. I don't really know a whole bunch of other game dev websites to learn game dev. I just did Udemy, and I did some Unity courses, and I did some Unreal courses. I did DevSlopes, but I think it's really outdated now, and they don't really do Udemy anymore anyways. I'd probably get the game dev TV people's courses if I had to get some. And then I would do Unreal because C++ is industry standard, so Blizzard games are all C++, Activision games are all C++. The big AAA titles are C++. You can do Unity, which is C#, so you got Gary's Mod, you got Rust, you got Escape from Tarkov built with that. C++ has Unreal Engine, and they got that Fortnite money, which probably means that they're putting a lot of money into their engine, so more people come over, and they just launched their store, and so I'd probably go with C++ if you had to pick for game dev. I think we're way off topic now, and I've given you a whole bunch of resources and a whole bunch of ways to figure out a direction that you want to go, even though this video had no real direction. I understand that, viewers, but I appreciate you for hanging in. I'm just trying to provide some value to you guys, because I know you guys are all confused, and maybe you're more confused at the end of this video, but hopefully I dropped some knowledge bombs that you guys can take, and I tried to hit all the little places. If you appreciate it, maybe hit the thumbs up, maybe hit subscribe. Help me get to 100K by July 17th, which is my birthday. I'll be 29 years old. That would be a fantastic birthday gift. It doesn't feel real. So if you would like, I would love it if you would leave a comment for the algorithm. I'd appreciate that so much. That would be awesome. But don't put comment for the algo, because I feel like YouTube's gonna be like, hey Josh, stop doing that. So instead, we're gonna do a comment for the giveaway. Happy 4th of July, everyone out there. Hope you guys are having a great day. Light lots of fireworks, lots of explosive, lots of good food, and yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging in. Thanks for helping me, build the momentum. just trying to take a step back and just, be appreciative for everything that's gotten me this far in such a short amount of time, in 2 weeks. Sorry for the rant. I appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed the video, hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Hope I provided some value today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.